tricky. Hey, sweet turkey. Oh, you're such a good girl. Turkey. Oh, look at that. Hello, everybody. This is Mary Catherine, and welcome to my own little house. Well, I have launched straight into spinning my dark brown fiber that came from the Barnyard Farm out just about an hour away from here. And I've been carding, and I'll show you that. And I'm finishing up this first bobbin so that I can ply and add that to the yarn that I need to finish my sweater. Now let me take a second to pull this sweater. I had to actually go hunt for the bag it was in because I'd forgotten where I put this sweater. I stopped working on it sometime last winter or spring, and I want to show you, remind you where we are in the process and what the sweater looks like. It's kind of a rustic, heavy wool brown sweater for winter. I want it to be plenty long enough, not way over my hips, but nice and long and big. So I need plenty of wool. So I have been working on carding and spinning this fiber, and it is hard work, and I'll show you why. See how tight that is? When I say that, I think that I felted it a little bit when I washed it in probably water that was just a little bit too hot. I handled it carefully, but the water was too hot. And so pulling that apart, yeah. This is what has slowed me down. Emotionally, I find it difficult to face this fiber in order to hand card it, in order to spin it, in order to finish my sweater. So I may just take this piece and set it aside and choose a different piece. This has some stuff going on in it. Got some VM in it. Oh my goodness, it's got some bad VM, but it's a little looser. I better get that out of there. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look good. I put a towel on my lap to catch the VM and so that I can see it. Now see, even this is a bit tough, but it'll loosen up once I start to card it. But some of this brown fiber still has a good bit of VM in it. Just little pieces of grass, stuff like that. See, I love all these wonderful curly cues on this fleece, but yeah, it's just tough to pull apart. Very tough to pull apart. And this is what I have to work with to make the sweater. Lovely as it would be to try to maintain those little light colored curlicues, if you're going to hand card it, they're going to get blended in. Sometimes one or two will stay in there and end up. Now Lucy, you may not interfere with my hand carding. Already it's much, much smoother. And look at all the VM that's already coming out. Can you see that? Now I've been through the whole process of hand carding on previous episodes. If I can find one, I'll link it up here at the top. If you want to learn how to hand card and you don't really know how, it's just second nature to me now. But you know, it was a little bit of a learning curve when I first started with hand carders. to know which one to load it on and how to turn them and unload them and all that stuff. And there's different approaches, and there's no right or wrong. Now, in the past with this fiber, I've been doing 3 passes. I think this is my 3rd. I think I'm going to do one more on this one. See what it's looking like so far. Now my goal is not to have perfectly straight fibers. This fiber is not going to do that. It's just not going to work that way. But I do want them all separated and fluffy, because that's how I've been spinning them, is in that fluffy style. I like to pull the ends off here like this and then kind of reload them on so that they really get a little bit of tension against the tines on the bottom card. Still stuff that needs to be picked out. See, there's a little bit of a curly Q that has remained. And there's one. So some of them will. And then they can show up in your spinning, and that's kind of fun. One very fluffy rolag. Very squashy. Very, very different from the red bats. Very, very different from Malabrigo. Totally different fiber. Behaves differently. I love the feel of this. It's just squashy. It's a field of sunflowers, and even though it's not sunny today, boy, it is hazy. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I did this last night in the middle of the night. I got this far. I still need one small pass across the top of the whole bobbin, but I'm almost down to the end here. And this morning, when I was chatting with you, I did one rolag. It hardly looks like a rolag, but it kind of is. And then there's a second rolag. We'll see if this will fill up this bobbin mostly. See these big bumpy things? I may try to pull them out a little bit and extend them, but generally I just let them pass. Hey everybody. Well, we're finally starting to dry out around here. It's been rain, rain, rain for the longest time. And today, it's not too bad. 82 degrees, sunny now. The grass is growing like crazy. Well, do you remember last year, when we pulled a whole bunch of stuff out of the old garden, what we call the orchard? And an unexpected result of that is that now there's a little bit more sun on some of the trees along the other edge, and they're apple trees. He was mowing here yesterday and said, you should go check out the apples. And here they are. Probably more apples than we've ever gotten here before. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can make an apple pie. 14. Wow. Well, I don't know what kind they are. I have no idea. Apples really aren't supposed to grow well around here. Did I wake you up? I have decided, instead of fighting that felted brown fleece, I am just going to clean some new. Hate to do that, but I think that's the best choice. So I'm going to clean some brown fleece today. Try to avoid making bubbles. This fleece is kind of sticky with lanolin. I think I'll take some of this over here. Yeah, it's very pretty. That was the first wash. Look how pretty fleece. Very dirty water. So I'm going to dump this out off my porch. Okay, I have done 3 washes and rinses. The first 2 washes and rinses I always dumped outside. On the third one it was clean enough. Really not a lot of evidence of lanolin left, so I went ahead and dumped it down my drain. So this is after the third rinse. Let's look at the water. It's pretty clear. You can still see some specks of VM in there. That stuff will be coming out until I spin it up. But I'm pretty pleased with the color, so we're going to go ahead and gently, I never wring or twist, I only press the fiber. And this time I am just using the hottest tap water, no boiling water. I suspect that's what felted the last batch of this. So I am just using hot water, and we will hope that that is enough to get the lanolin out. But considering the color of the water, I think it probably is out. That's the kind of VM that really makes a tangly hard spot. So I'm sorting through. It is beautiful fleece. I just hope this will be easier to work with than my last batch. That color is just amazing. But it is really beautiful. Hey, well, the brown fleece is dry, and I'm very pleased. It did almost all of it did not felt, and so let me show you. It's nice and fluffy. It pulls apart easily. You can still see there's some little spots that it seems to be sticking, like that one right there. But most of this, and there's quite a bit here, I think is going to card well. I really have to be able to card it and spin it without big bumps. Now, there's a little bit. Here's some that felted. You can see when you try to pull it apart, it just really won't. These hard spots will not pull apart. A lot of times they look long and stringy like this. I think that's just a lock that decided to do that. This is what I was trying to card and spin before, and it's just so hard. I might be able to pull some of this out, you know, and add it to the bunch, but I'm still, look at that. I pulled that off, but I still got this right there. So I'm tired of fighting with my fiber. When I fight with fiber, I tend to not like fiber, and I want to love fiber. So, and then this is a big bunch here that's just, you know, you try to pull it and it won't pull. Adam was interested in having my felted fiber that I was fighting with, so I'm going to give him the stuff too that's felted, and he wants to, I think, put it on his felting machine. A friend gave him a felting machine, and I think he wants to turn it into something. I forget what he told me yesterday. But if that ends up happening, among his many projects, he is working so hard right now before school starts. He's got 4 pair of trousers going. He's making stuff for me. So he is sewing up a storm. But I'll keep you posted on what he does with that fiber. So now it's time to go card some of this and spin some more on my second bobbin of single so that I can get some more yarn made for that sweater. Now here is the current state of the brown sweater, the rustic brown sweater. It did end up with the dark brown in here because I didn't have enough of the light brown. I wish I could have just done the whole sweater in the light brown, but that is not going to happen. I think I've done a lot of the hard work. I've done these diagonal raglan connections here that turned out well. Haven't done the neckline or I guess there'll be some kind of a placket here. Not sure about that, but yeah, I'll need to do a more finished neckline. That'll come later. But most of all, I need to finish off both the sleeves are going to be I do have a little bit more of a light brown that I'll probably use at the bottom, but this will all be dark. I'm going to try to get it to match up, we'll see. And then I have a good bit of the body of the sweater to bring down, but that's just all knit, purl. It's nothing hard. I just needed more yarn. So here it is, and this is what I'm working on steadily, hopefully, for the next few months.